Hey, good morning, everybody. Job reports coming out in about 1 minute time. Understand, job reports have come in high every month since April. So we have the estimate and then you have the actual numbers. So I think they're coming out really soon. Oh, they must have came in weak because the Dow is spiking.
I agree on the strong.
points,
I'm going to be looking at wages. Last month, that was a huge surprise how high that came in, how big the revisions came in. That's the most important number here.
The estimate was
okay, great. It's time for the December
so I'm saying this
jobs report. And Rick, you can give it to us,
now.
and
The market should go down.
I ask you to weigh in as well after the number.
Points.
Good, I see it. Okay,
not a problem, Joe. Of course, we're waiting. Here we go. The jobs creation for the month of December, 223,000. We continue to see these numbers get closer and closer to 200, but historically, these are still good numbers. And if we look at manufacturing payrolls increased about 8,000, darn close to expectations. 3.5% on the unemployment rate, 3.5%. That equals the best levels we've seen post-COVID, historically unbelievably good. And of course, if you're looking at the Fed, maybe it's unbelievably bad in that twisted relationship we now have due to the Fed raising rates, trying to slow down the economy. If we look at average hourly earnings, up 0.3%, half of last month's up 0.6, which actually now becomes only up 0.4. And if we look at year over year, up 4.6, that's a new low watermark going all the way back to August of 21 when it was 4.3. And if we look at the average work week, 34.3, which usurps 34.4 in the rearview mirror. That was the lowest level since April of 2020. So these are very important numbers to pay attention to as we continue to see deterioration on the work week. Labor force participation. Okay, I'm going to cheer this one, folks. 62.3. And so far in the rearview mirror, 62.1 unrevised. 62.3 is.
All right, let's kill this guy. Let's just start with the numbers. Let me kill it on my TV as well. Because what we were all told is when the job numbers came out this morning, 200,000 was the estimate. Now, anything under 200,000, the market should react positively. Anything above 200,000, and understand we came in at 223,000, the market should react negatively. What are they doing when the jobs report came out? Spiking. So then you look at unemployment. Now we were at 3.7. Now we're at 3.5, which means people are finding work, which means the Fed is going to step it up. Remember, we've got 4 Fed speakers today. So this pre-market pump of 150 to 221 points on the Dow, I'm not a believer. I'm a believer in data. I'm a believer in history. Let's remember, since April, every jobs number has come in hotter than expected, meaning if we were expected to increase jobs by 200,000, we come in 10% hotter, it's 223. Now, one thing they are looking at is last month we were at 283,000. The fact that we're at 223,000, people say, okay, less jobs. But the estimate was 200,000. We were estimated to come in right at 200. We came in at 223. All right, so that's the job numbers. Do I believe this pre-market pump? I mean, I'm just going to look where we are right now. 380.39 on the SPY. We closed, so we're about, 20.23% high or something like that. We'll get back to the jobs numbers in a bit, and we'll let it play out. But am I buying this bullshit pre-market pump? Not at all. I would say, okay, I'm going to stay on the sidelines. I'm going to look for rejection. And at that time, I'm going to play some SPY puts. Okay, what am I expecting today? Choppiness. Yesterday, light volume until about 2 p.m., 2:30 p.m. Volume spiked up a little. Lot of money, big money on the side. Let's get to Tesla. Let's see where Tesla is pre-market. I think it was down 6 to 8%. So we're 7.69%. Tesla's sitting at $102 a share. Understand, Elon Musk is first blaming the Fed government. They lowered their pricing in China. So let me put it in perspective for everybody. Their Model 3 is 13% cheaper than it was in August. Now they're doing that to spike up demand. However, the Model Y, just since August pricing, is down 24%. So they're having a massive sale to ramp up demand. Will it work? I don't know. Elon's blaming the Fed, his fault for buying Twitter. So that's Tesla. I'm going to talk about the SPY levels. There's a new dark pool level at 382.66. So that to me should be resistance. So even if they want to pump the market, pre-market, and we're at 381.05. So again, I would be looking at 382.66 as resistance. If we break through that, and I'll give you the bull case scenario, even though I'm not a believer, and if we see it and it breaks through 382.66 to the high side, you could see 385 on the SPY. Me, if I see that today, I'll still be on the sidelines. I will not enter any new positions because I don't buy that. So yes, I'm expecting a ton of market volatility today. Of course, the institutions, big money, here to fool you. So as Goldman came out this morning and they gave their estimates on what the market would do based on the jobs numbers this morning, they were like over 250,000, market drops 2%. 200,000 to 250,000, market drops 0.5% to 1%. Well, right now the market's up 0.5%. So again, according to Goldman, JP, everything like that, according to my own common sense, when I hear the job numbers come in strong for what? The ninth straight month, meaning the Fed still has to be strong. Then what do we have to throw on top of the fire? 4 Fed speakers today. All will be speaking about the future interest rates, when we might have recession, if we have recession. Okay, so SPY levels, we'll get right into it. If you guys have any questions, please just ask them on the side. If you're asking about a stock or what have you, please ask on the side. Let's remember which stocks I dumped the other day. Lee Automotive, what is it down this morning? 8%. I dumped my FedEx and Nike after securing 7 and 6.5% in 3 days of trading. Stock only. As far as options goes, I rode Disney from $88 up to $92, right? Got out. What did I get into yesterday? I got into some Starbucks puts that expire next week. Why? There was outflow in Starbucks. These analysts keep upping their price target. Oh, heavyweight buy, 120 price target. I'm just looking for the second outflow day in a row. If it comes today, see a nice drop. If I have to wait till next week, that's fine. I'll wait till next week. Starbucks flat on open. They got the spike right after the job numbers, but let's see where the market actually is sitting with the SPY. Okay, yeah, the SPY's up 0.24% pre-market. Again, based solely on the job numbers coming in at 223 versus an estimated 200,000. So they are coming in hot for the 8th or 9th straight month. Then you have unemployment 3.5, previous 3.7. Those aren't good. If unemployment went up and jobs went down, the market would go up because people would say, okay, the Fed is doing their job. But right now, if I'm the Fed and I'm looking at these strong numbers, I'm saying, holy shit, what more can we do to push these job numbers down to curb inflation? Remember, they're not trying to F people by getting them fired or laid off. They're trying to curb inflation, which is good for the whole, which is good for the country. You don't want to pay $4 for a dozen eggs. You'd like to pay $2.89. You don't want to pay $4 a gallon for gas. You'd like to pay $2.89. So that is the Fed's responsibility. Now let's remember how the Fed screwed themselves by adding to their balance sheet last year as the market was going up. They kept adding and making more purchases, putting more demand, less supply on the market, forcing the market higher. So what's going to happen in 2023? The reversal. They need to lighten their balance sheet. Remember, their balance sheet is still over $8 trillion, and they're looking to get it down to about $3.5 to $4 trillion. So there is going to be a lot of downward pressure this year, a lot of choppiness. Let's get right into SPY levels, okay? All right, SPY levels. We closed at 379.38. Let's see where we are pre-market. Let me see if I can add this on the stream. Hey, that actually was a lot quicker than I thought. Okay, so we're sitting right now at 380.72. Let's just see where we're up. We're up 0.36% on the SPY. Let me give you my prediction on the day. We're going to see 4.5 point range. We're going to see 382.60 on the high side. On the low side, we're going to touch 377.84. Okay, so 377.84. So if I'm in puts and we touch 377.84, that's the position I will likely get out of some of my contracts. If the market spikes up to the 382.66 range. That is the time I will enter some put contracts. Remember, the last time I bought puts on the SPY, I believe it was Monday or Tuesday, and I went out till Friday. I only had to hold them till Wednesday. But let's remember, you must give yourself more than enough time to be correct. That way, if I was incorrect, I could have held out until Friday. I sold on Wednesday for 70% profit. So make sure you give yourself enough time in whatever options plays you're looking at. Okay, so let's get right back to the SPY. SPY is sitting at, let's go to a 3-minute chart. That's perfect. Let's just say it's sitting at 381. Again, I would expect rejection to come right in this range of 382.66. So right about here. Okay, just going across. Let's look at the 5-minute chart just so we have a better angle on it. 382.66. Yeah, right about here, exactly where we gapped up from. On the low side, again, it doesn't surprise me that we're at 380. I'm thinking we're probably going to touch somewhere right in maybe even this range. No, a little lower. I think we're going to touch 378 today, maybe even 377 and change. Understanding if we do that, if we touch 378 at some point today, that's definitely a bear case scenario. Again, jobs reports came out. Market is spiking pre-market. The Dow went from minus 50 points to plus 220 points and then settled back in. So we'll see where that comes out. Again, SPY levels, bull case scenario, next level to break, 382.66. We're sitting at 381.20 pre-market. So 382.66. If we break that level, the next level you're looking at is 384.30, which is a serious dark pool level, probably about $34 to $36 billion worth of SPY. 384.30. If we break that, there is very little supply all the way up to 388. So if you wanted to have a bull case scenario, and again, I'm not a bull today, 382, 384.30, 388 possibility. Let's understand max pain on the SPY today is 382. It's not far off high. It's not far off low. It's right about where we're sitting. That's where max pain is. So if we see a very narrow range today, who's going to make money? The institutions. Why? Because they're selling you those 0 days till expiration options that expire today. All right. Now we've spoken about bull case scenario. Let us talk about the bear case scenario. Bear case scenario is we're sitting at, we closed at 379. We're sitting at 381 pre-market. It spikes up a little more. We see the rejection at 382.66, like I'm figuring. Okay, then the market battles in between 382 and 379 and change where we close, still staying a little positive. Probably going to be light volume again for like the straight day. And when that happens, and we're sitting at 380, let's say, and then volume starts to pick up on a few different stocks and the SPY and the market in general, then yeah, I'm thinking end of day, last 30 minutes, we could lose like 0.5% in the market. So I'm going to say we have a pretty narrow day from 380 to 383, let's say on the high side, but probably not, probably 382.66. But let's just say 380, 383, narrow day, not much money to be made during scalping. Unless you can find the rejection levels at the top or the support levels at the bottom. Because once you find rejection, it's going to come down pretty quickly. Once you find support, it's going to bounce pretty quickly. However, with light volume, I do expect some late day movement. So me, what would I think I'm going to do? I'm thinking I'd probably wait on the sidelines, see how the market plays out, not trade any options until at least 10:30, and more than likely sit on the sidelines, devise my strategy, and wait for the late day market movement or there, right before they're heading over the weekend. I'm going to be bearish. So again, I'm looking for the top of the market at any point during the day. I see somebody had a question. Let me just remove this. Let me add our Discord because I saw somebody had a question about Tesla. So we'll see if we can get just some Tesla levels. And if you're interested in a Tesla video, I looked at my video that I made 5 months ago. I made the Tesla video. All you have to do is Google Tesla, Market Mat, SOC trading, YouTube. You'll see it. Tesla was trading at $310. What did I say? The PE, the forward PE was 72. I said the forward PE should be somewhere in the 30 range. That would make more sense based on the valuation of Tesla. Well, that's where the forward PE is right now. Actually, it's probably lower now that Tesla's getting hit. Let's just see where Tesla is this morning. Forward PE, 27.56. So again, when it was at 72, nothing happens instantaneously. The same way I think the market should still be a little bearish, but we seem to be popping pre-market. Yeah, I mean, Disney's up 7%. We're almost at 392 level pre-market. Again, I'm looking for it to reject 392.66. If it doesn't reject, I know the next level up is 382.66. The next level up is 385, followed by 388. So I know what I'm looking out for if they want to give us a bull day in the market. It doesn't mean that I'm going to try and ride those momentum tails because I don't believe it. If it doesn't float with your strategy, if your trade doesn't float with exactly what your strategy is and what you're seeing in the market, it's best to sit on the sidelines. It's not best to say, I'm going to be right. I'm going to fight the market trend. No, you let the market trend play out. Again, I'm just going off job numbers. Understanding before job numbers came out, the 2-year, the 10-year, and the US dollar were all spiking, which would put a bearish sentiment on the market. I'm just going to look at those numbers real quick. Let's look at the US dollar. Again, it just dropped pretty substantially. Let's just look at the live number on the US dollar. Where's US dollar? US dollar, 105.30. As you can see, the US dollar just dropped substantially. It was 105.62. So as the dollar drops and we're back to like the 4 a.m. level. So if you look at the 4 a.m. level of the market, understand futures were spiking yesterday, last night. So it's not a surprise we're sitting at 382.69. Okay, so to me, we're sitting right at the rejection level. Again, 383. I'm thinking that's where it is. But if the market fights me on that one, can't help it. All right, so let's get back to that Tesla question. I'm going to add our Discord. If you want to join our Discord, there should be a link below. But this is what I do every morning. And we'll look at Tesla real quick first. So let's type in, we'll see where we are. TR, let's see, dark pool levels. So let's look at the dark pool levels first. Unfortunately, they don't go as low as we need them to go. This would tell you if Tesla does pop at any time that you're probably going to see rejection right at the 107 level. It goes about $6 per level, 125, 119, 113, 107. You got to figure the next dark pool level is at 101. And the fact that Tesla is sitting probably at 101, sitting at 102.24, understanding that people are probably going to buy in at 101. But we'll see what the market plays out. Right now, if the market's strong, then Tesla might pop back up to 104 or 105, something like that. Thanks. I was just about to look at the SPY levels, whoever brought that up. So we've got the SPY levels. Again, 376, very small dark pool level. 379.51, which was as low as 379. Again, large dark pool level. And here it is. I mentioned the new dark pool level, 382.66. And it's right there in front of everybody, 48,000. So what is that telling me? It's telling me if we get to that level, which we are pre-market, understand institutions, big hedge funds, big money, they don't sell pre-market, and they're looking for the best value. If they're selling something, they want the best price. So if the market is going to pump and they're looking to sell, they'll get rid of a little here, they'll let it pump higher, they'll get rid of a little here, they'll let it pump higher, and they'll get rid of the rest of it. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm seeing today. A good word curve inflation. Yeah. Starbucks. Yeah. Let's look at Starbucks. Again, I entered into some Starbucks puts, understanding that Starbucks had major inflow for like 5 straight days. Yesterday was the first outflow day. And let me just see if I can pull up that data that I had on Starbucks real quick. Let's see. Starbucks. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pull up that data. Okay, you know what? Let's do something else. Let's pull up the Discord. Let's look at what Starbucks is doing on the algos and flows charts. Okay, so let's look at the net flow. And again, this reversed late, not yesterday, so late Wednesday. It reversed, became somewhat bullish right around here. Again, my reasoning for Starbucks puts was heavy inflow. I thought we'd see some consolidation back to 101 or 102. We still might, but unfortunately, if the market goes up 1% today, everything is going to pump 1%. And when I say everything, I mean, airlines, cruise ships, oil and energy companies. I think they already pumped. They pumped 8-10% earlier in the week. So let's look at the algo flow as well. TR, algo, flow, and Starbucks. And then we'll look at the flow sum as well. Flow sum. Starbucks. Okay, so let's look at the algo flow. Okay, we've got the algo is telling us the stock price should be down here. The price of the stock is actually up here. So there's a mini divergence, but nothing too spectacular there. Can't see the flow sum, so let's see if there's any big flow. TR, big flow, and Starbucks. See, now, unfortunately, not enough activity. So let's look at the market in general, and this is what I do to start each morning. I'll look at the top flow. The top flow tells me, and let's just see, make sure everybody can see it with me. Perfect. So the top flow, I'm going to bring it up. They were bullish on the S&P, bullish Apple, bullish NVIDIA, bearish Hughes, which is technology, Microsoft, which has been there day after day, and the SPY. And again, Netflix has been ripping, and again, it's here. Exxon ripped yesterday, here, TLT, PDT, Chinese companies. So let's just mention Chinese companies real quick because China's been spiking recently. China finally had a flat day yesterday, but you'll see Chinese companies down pre-market. Again, they ripped a little too hard in my estimation. So we're just going to go back to the SPY here. Look pre-market, 382.86. Again, we're right at the rejection or the supply level. But if you have something that you want to sell and the price keeps going up, you're holding it. You're like, I don't want to sell yet. I don't want to sell yet. But I do expect the market to get flooded with a little SPY. If it doesn't happen, we could see 385 next level higher. If it does, then look for us to bounce right back down to the 380 range. No predetermined emotional trading here. Sitting on the sidelines mostly. I have a few positions open. Most of it's on the sidelines, waiting to see how the job numbers play out for Fed speakers today. Remember, when Fed speakers come on, it's not like the market rips higher. If anything, there's a little hesitation. So my strategy today, I'm looking for the top of the market. Whenever I see rejection once, I will note it on my paper. Rejection at 383.10. Then I'll wait till later and I'll say, rejection, 383.18. Great. That means next entry, next time it goes up to that level, I would be buying puts. That's how I do it. What would I consider a change in a trend? 2 days of green or a certain level? You know what? You just got to chart it out. Use your lines, draw lines from the top of each of the spikes, draw lines from the bottom. You'll either see, upward momentum or downward momentum, and then you have to just base it. If the trend line is right in the middle of both channels, then you're in what I call no man's land, and I'd rather be on the sidelines until we hit the top or the bottom. And you could do the same for Apple, Disney, Roku, any stocks you're looking at, Microsoft. If you want to look at Lucid or Upstart or Affirm, you could see the downward trend. So what are people doing? Every time they spike, they're buying puts. If a stock is in an upward trend, I mentioned airlines like a week ago. Did you all see United Airlines pop yesterday? Again, I'd stay the hell away from Southwest Air because they're just running a terrible operation right now. I mentioned Delta. I mentioned United. I mentioned Carnival. I mentioned the casino stocks we're talking a few days ago. Again, they're ripping. I don't trust China, so I'd be more hesitational. If I was in those stocks, I would be securing profit. Other than that, I'm heading over to Discord. Everybody's welcome to join me. It's right below. We do have a public section as well as a private section. If you want to use the algorithms and flows like I show you and look at what big money is, or look at if your stock is going to have bullish divergence or bearish divergence, yes, then you actually need to join the private part of Discord, which is great because those services that we offer and everything's all included at $35 or a little slightly thereunder, people charge $100 a month. And institutions, their Bloomberg terminals, $250,000 a month. You get the same options to type in the same commands. So that's a no-brainer for me. See you guys there shortly. Have a great morning. Enjoy your weekends. I'll see everybody Monday morning. Please